Yes, welcome to America versus Ireland with the Hoogly and Carl Hamburger from WATPLive.com. He's got a lot of shows going on. He's got a beautiful haircut. Look how pretty he looks, Hoogly.
It's very nice. Carl, what did you think of that intro that I designed? Pretty advanced technology, eh?
I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
So when is your Duran Duran tribute band going back on tour?
Well, we're rehearsing still. We got to hit the notes. We got to hit Hungry Like the Wolf. It's going to be a minute.
You know who's got a lot of good songs is the Misfits.
Fuck off with that.
Oh, come on.
Bob, what do you think about the band The Misfits? The
I don't
punk
even
band?
think about them. I never
Like
heard them.
dancing.
I don't want to know. Even if I knew a song by them, I would not want to know it. Put it that way.
Their most famous song is only famous because Metallica played it. That's how bad that band is.
What song is it?
Wow. There's the I've got something to say. I
No.
effed your baby today.
Nope.
That's the Misfits.
Yeah.
That's such a good song, and it's funny and it's witty, and
funny and witty.
yeah. Metallica covering the Misfits. That's like Stuttering John performing some of Bob Levy's material.
Hey, come on. Yeah,
That
you're
was
right
fun.
about
I'm sorry.
that. It's evil, but what are you going to do? Hey, fuck it. It's a fucking Thursday. I don't give a shit. King of all devils, $2. Fuck Bob Levy. There we go. We are off to a fucking running start. That's how we fucking do it. Thank you all for coming by into the fucking madness. And we are going to have fun. Exactly, Ugly. Yeah, fuck Ugly. But, Carl, what does your family think about your hair? Like,
They've disowned me. So it was nice knowing them.
Yeah.
does your
they'd rather
wife
he-
like it?
You know what? That's actually really funny. So my wife did it. And
Okay.
the other day in the morning before she went to work, she looked at me and she goes, "You don't actually like that." I go, "Don't get used to it. It's not going to be lasting very long."
You know what you should do just to get back at her? Bang her twice as much
Oh, she would hate that.
while you have that hair. And
She
then
would hate that.
next thing you know, she'll be fucking downloading pictures of Simon Le Bon, from Duran Duran.
Yeah. Do a lot of napping and tapping. That's how you do
That's
it,
right.
right? You got to nap if you're going to fucking tap. That's the way to fucking do it. Dave Davila, why does the Irishman cross the road? Because there was a fucking beer over there, half a beer. Don't fucking drink anything.
No,
those
the
animals.
answer is because they had a petrol bomb in their hand and they were throwing it at the Brits. Carl, you'll love this show. Me and Levy have such great chemistry with the roasting back and forth. I've been writing a couple of roast jokes if you'd like to hear one of them.
Oh, I can't
Sure.
wait. Yes.
Okay, here we go.
No, hold
Hey.
on a second. Ray DeVito did not help you with this. This is your own material.
Who?
Just want to make sure Ray's not writing these roast jokes for you.
No, Ray couldn't find his crayons that day.
He's the king of the roast jokes. But okay, let's hear it.
Get ready for this. Hey, Bob Levy.
Yes, Hoogly.
Fuck you.
Well,
Pretty good.
fuck you too.
Is that an Irish thing? Is that the Irish? You want to bring it back to music?
Hey, no music, motherfucker. But Dave Davila, because you just activated a car bomb. That's why. A car bomb. Oh, they get the horn here. Oh, not that one. Good. Fuck you, you free fucking goddamn Abel's getting up here. Mason in Portland gifted 5 Levy verse memberships, and this is how we do it. Do. You get the real fucking horn here, like Dave Davila comes from. Gifted 10. Do. The only horn that makes any sense in this thing, and that's a fucking fact.
You know, it's crazy, Bob. I've been listening to you on the radio for decades. I never knew you played trumpet. Like, you've just been keeping that skill from us. It's amazing when someone could just be like, by the way, I had this talent all along. I didn't feel like I needed to show off.
Watch this.
Oh.
Brilliant. That's Where
Nice.
Eagles Dare by the Misfits, if anyone didn't notice the notes.
So, obviously, you can't afford an amp because Shuli doesn't pay you, but
Right,
someday
exactly.
maybe.
I got a
We'll be
fake
able to hear
amp. He sent me a fake amp like everything else. Everything else is fake. So what are you going to fucking do? But it's life is good. We're making believe we have money. We're making believe we have members.
Yeah, why not?
Wait a
Can't
minute.
beat it.
Are you trying to say that the Shuley Network is as fake as Kevin Brennan's feuds?
Maybe.
Nothing's that fake.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to bring this up before I forget, and we don't have
Mm-hmm.
to dwell on this, but did you see Joe Matarese dip his toe into the Dabbleverse last week?
No.
So Joe Matarese has adopted a brand new format again on his show where he's now
Nice.
going live and reading the chat. And so he's been going on MLC, so people are asking about MLC. And someone said, did you know the Stuttering John thinks he's funnier than Bob Levy?
Oh, wow.
And Joe Matarese goes, well, that's not even possible. Bob Levy's a professional comic. Does John even do stand-up? And I went, uh-oh.
Oh, this is great.
Joe Matarese, watch out, buddy. You can't say that around here.
Oh, he'll want him dead after that. Are you kidding me? You can't fucking do
Do I
something
even
like that.
do stand-up? I am a headliner. Joe Matarese.
Name anyone with better material about Blockbuster than me.
Wait, hold-
Did you know that his kids are ugly?
Wait a minute. This is a good one. Grizzly. Bob, Dan Filetto said you secured a radio job for $500K a year. After reading the contract, he said you would have to pay $10,000 a year. Any truth? Of course, there's no truth to that. That is a fucking blatant lie.
Wait, what does that even mean?
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But the fact is that this is the same guy that called me when Kevin said he was trashing me, right? Kevin was trashing me. And he calls me right away and he goes, I wasn't trashing you. And by the way, he's saying stuff about a former baseball player that he's a homosexual and that shit. He's going to get sued if he keeps that up. And that's a fact. And I can actually have somebody look that up. And it was around the same time. It was like that week. So, yeah, keep playing. Keep playing.
I
What
like
was
this shot
the-
of me. You can only see my hair. This is my best attribute coming through
It
on
really
the show.
is. I'm helping you out,
I
Dave.
know, thank you. This is working out well for
I'm
me.
doing the best thing for you. Dave Davila, what's the difference between an Irish wedding and an Irish wake? One less drunk? Boom! There you go. Roasted. Put that in your fucking hat, yoogly, hoogly, doogly, doogly.
Yeah, but you can't regret a week.
Oh, no.
See? No offense, Bob.
So Matarese is in this full time. You think he's going to go in this full time now?
Well, he mentioned on his show, he goes, guys, I want to talk to you because I'm going to be on MLC. This is last week. I'm going to be on MLC tomorrow. And Kevin said he's going to start having me on regularly on that show. And I went, oh, that's not going to be good. No one who becomes a regular on that show is like, well, that was a good career move.
I wonder what they'll talk about. I'm sure it will really mix things up, don't you?
Well, Joe Matarese, he's got some bits about being Italian. I don't know if you have a lot of Italian folks that live around where you are, but here in the States, wow. They pronounce mozzarella. It's crazy. You can't even believe it.
They get mad at the way you say things. Like,
Yeah.
if you get a food wrong by a little bit.
And they
Hopefully
do this
Kevin
on-
asks him about this because he can talk for days about this. It's
That's
great.
good. Yeah, and they do this on the show.
I hope so because that is Joe Matarese's strong suit right there.
Why don't
I
we
hope-
talk about mozzarella?
I hope he says they're a couple of good fellas. That would be hilarious, don't you think?
Pretty good
It
stuff.
should work. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Yeah. Hi, everybody in the chat. Welcome to the Levyverse. I'm coming up with a different name soon. It's gonna be called Call's Hair or something. I don't know. It's starting to look more normal. Like, you know what I mean? At the beginning, it looked really fucking like when you first seen it, you were like, man.
Well, my wife styled it to make me look extra, effeminate, as Stuttering John would say. I was
See
going to
it
say
work?
G-A-Y, but so she styled it that way, and then I'm going on all these shows, like with you guys on Uncle Rico, and I was out with Dick Masterson. And so now I'm styling it myself. So I look just as effeminate, but not as out of the closet.
But speaking of the Kevin Brennan show, Carl, and anytime I see anything that My Lost Interest uploads, I can just hear your eyes going like, "Oh yes," and not for the obvious reason. No offense, you did kill Jesus though. But with I take it you've seen the clip of Stevie Lou just setting a completely sober Stuttering John off.
Yes. Yeah.
Sober?
Very sober. Yeah. It was,
Yeah,
it was
there's
what,
no
4 in
way.
the afternoon on the West Coast?
Well, he's
Yeah.
heartbroken. That's fucking heartbreak. You know, that's like when a woman breaks up with you and you don't want that to happen. That's what's happening to John now, and he can't handle it, which is weird. You know,
that-
it's like it's a guy you don't even know, really. You met him once, you talked to him a few times, and what he could have done for him. Like, you know, why not just do something for somebody and not say it?
Bob, the weirdest part about all of this is that John's talking to these people on the phone every day. When he
Yeah.
talks about Leo Gunn and, so there's chatters in there, there's Stevie Lou, and he's like, yeah, so I'm talking to my buddy the other day. He literally is talking on the phone for hours a day to these people. I don't know any other man his age who's doing that.
Well, I do that. There's loads of people whose kids won't answer the phone to them.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like it's the creepiness of him. It's getting off. Like, in fact, I remember when my stepdad had his heart attack. I remember
Oh, sorry.
the month leading up to that. You seen this rapid weight gain in his face and around his neck. And that's what Stuttering John looks like, and his face is fucking red like Jack Black's anus. Not that I've heard anything. And it's just like he's going to have a heart attack, and it won't be from laughing at the Misery Loves Company. It's going to be from his own, let's just say, drinking habits that he's clearly started up.
Well, also, Hughes, and I don't like to talk about Stuttering John, but reluctantly I will today. Also, John's not having any fun at all. What's crazy about this, if you go back to the summertime, he's talking to Kevin Brennan, and Kevin's just like, well, are you going to go back and teach school again when the semester starts up? And John goes, why would I do that? I'm having too much fun. I'm getting paid to be in the Dabbleverse. This is a blast. Watch any episode of Stuttering John. He's miserable. Everyone's betraying him. He's crying about it. He doesn't have a friend in the world.
It's not good. Yeah,
It's not good.
Definitely. It's not a thing that's going to get you through life happy. You could see it in his
Correct.
face, and it's like, I don't care. I don't care. It's
weighing
crazy
on
to
him,
live
yeah.
like that.
And have you heard the new one that's going around that's going to break Stuttering John's clogged heart?
Oh, no, what's that?
There's a certain lady in his life, born that way, who he likes, who may have, I don't mean to be vulgar, been cream pied anally by someone who hosts a political type show.
Sure.
And apparently this is true. And if that gets back to SJ, who's got a lot of stuff to do with his time, he's not just sitting around waiting all day. I think he may do a Bud Dwyer impression on a upcoming stream.
Whoa, that hasn't been done for years. That could be.
That would be a
amazing.
legendary way to get out of the Dabbleverse, I would have to say.
I don't. It's very hard to get out of it.
Dude, I'm signing up for his Patreon if that's his final episode. I need to see that. I need to download that particular episode. Yeah. It is this whole Kate Meany thing. Kate Meany actually just became a member on our Patreon, patreon.com/YouAreThesePodcasts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So very exciting. Apparently, if you just talk about each person individually, you can eventually get thousands of people to sign up for your Patreon. You just have to talk about thousands of people, apparently, to make that happen. But I'm very interested to see where she goes with this. Hughes, I'm interested in your take on this. Is Kate Meany playing John? Because it seems that way to me. What's Chad's involvement? Is there someone else behind the scenes? Kevin Brennan, Vince the lawyer? What's going on with this?
Well, you know me, Carl. I would never say anything sexist.
Right.
But I think that a her is going to be a her. And I just
her.
think she needs compliments and needs to feel wanted by anyone. Unfortunately, she ain't no Chrissy Mayer, I'll tell you that. So
Yeah, it's
I
not gonna
think
end
that
well for her.
she just likes the fact that Stuttering John clearly puts a photograph of her on his pillow before he humps it. So I think that she needs the ego massage. Unfortunately, she doesn't realize what the long term of that means. It's that he's going to grape her without the G.
What do you think, Bob? What do you think's going on? What's the end game for Kate Meany? Is she really looking for friendship and companionship with John, or is she playing him?
I think she's using everybody, and
Yeah.
she's just going to start her own thing. That's what I think. And
Okay, so she's just trying to get herself out there as much as possible, then
As-
start
yeah.
the Kate Meany show, and
yeah, and that's definitely going to happen. I
Yeah,
definitely
that'll be
think
fun
that.
for me.
And
Oh,
there's
yeah,
no
di-
way she can enjoy being on that show of some guy who's 40-something years older than her going, so do you swallow the cum when the dick goes in your mouth? She goes, yes. She says, oh, I was just asking for a super chat.
Yeah, but nobody like. How can you talk to someone that much younger? Like, there's nothing in common, really. You know.
Oh well, Bob, it's interesting you say that because that's my thought too. Is like if there's
Mm-hmm.
an attractive 24-year-old who lives 2,000 miles from me and she wants to talk on the phone, I have better things to do. I don't need to talk to a 24-year-old girl. There's just nothing to say. But they brought this up on the show, what they were talking about. Because John goes, yeah, we talked for 2.5 hours last night, and we were talking about Kevin Brennan's a loser and Stevie Lou's a loser. Like, all they're doing is shit talking. All the other people are in the Dappleverse. It's insane.
Yeah. How good is life, Lynn? You know, if you're talking about
Right,
that.
could you imagine you call up Kate Meany, who you want to fuck, and you're like, did you see what Shuley said on the BS show this morning? What a loser, am I right?
I'd never hang out with him at my disco.
Yeah, you know, she's not saying, let me unbutton my pants after that one. You know, it's just not going to fucking happen. You know, it's just, it's ridiculous. Dave Davila, $2. Call. Perry Levy can do your hair. Looks fine. Oh, come on. You know. Dean Shock, $1.99. Need Bob on BPITU. Lady K, make it happen in March. I don't know what that is.
That is the biggest problem in the universe with Dick Masterson and Vito Gesualdi.
Okay.
And if you are interested, they have a big show, and they do a great job. I was on there when I was out
I'll
in
do
L.A.
it.
last year. And
I
basically,
can
you
do
have to come
shit.
in and present what you think is the biggest problem in the universe, and then people vote, and you compete with the other guys on the show.
Okay, I like to compete. Mason in Portland, Shane Gillis, $2. What's Carl and Ugli's thoughts on PCL?
Who's that? Perry Caravello?
Carabello Alive.
I think he's hilarious, but at the same time, he's gonna have a fucking heart attack soon. Like, so I find it funny, and I think that Windy City Heat's one of the all-time great comedies. Mm-hmm. But I think he's gonna end up dying on the air, and a lot of people are gonna go, "Oh, maybe we shouldn't have pushed that autistic guy to think that fucking." If the Misfits were going to perform in this hallway, they've loads of great songs.
It's just he has no memory from a car accident. You know what I mean? Oh, stop it. I'm like that too.
Wait, hold on a second. Was it hit and run? Because those are the funniest types of car
Oh, yeah.
accidents.
I forgot about that with Ray and that stuff.
I like the ones when it's a drink driver who accidentally drives through a crowd of people.
Stop it, man. You can't. You got to slow down on this shit. It's too early in the show.
It's too early.
too funny.
And babies die.
So,
That's-
Bob, you've been in Perry's apartment.
oh, yeah.
You've been in there. So
Yeah.
when I watch Perry, he doesn't leave that place, right? He's a shut-in.
No, he goes out all the
Oh, he
time.
does.
He's driving around and
Oh,
all that.
okay.
He goes out to eat.
'Cause
You know.
Okay, because my concern about Perry when I watch him on his stream is it similar to when I watch John. I just feel like he's sitting in filth. Like it doesn't seem like he's cleaning a lot or dusting the
Well,
countertops.
dusting, I don't think he's doing. That was a little. That's why I told him next time I go there, we're going to paint the place. And he's yelling at me yesterday. I have to have approval from the place to paint it. We're not doing that, you know. And I'm like, just fucking, you know, one time, get like a fucking air blower, you know, and just fucking blow everything out into off the patio.
I think that's what it needs for sure.
It's just a little dusty, but yeah,
Okay.
he does everything. He's out all the time having the time.
He
of
doesn't
his
have
life.
any animals in there though, right?
No.
See, that's
it
a big
wouldn't-
difference. Having 2 cats in a small little place
No,
and just one
it's too
person,
much.
very different.
Yeah, because you're going to smell litter box from where, you know, especially, you know, John isn't, you know, the cleanest person, so I'm sure he lets it overflow.
I was living with a cat for a long time, one single cat in a big house, and I had to clean every other day with all the
Yeah.
fucking cat hair that gets everywhere. It's gross.
So did Perry genuinely think that all of the Windy City Heat stuff was legitimate?
He still does.
no.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Even
Explain
after?
that.
Yeah,
See,
no,
that-
he never said anything different. He's always saying, you know what I mean? It was a great movie and that. Yeah.
Because the bit of the film that always makes me weird is that when he stands up to the black guy, not that there's anything wrong with that, at the cinema, and he's like, "Oh, we need to get in there," and he gets in the black guy's face. Not that there's anything wrong with black people, and they would react just like anybody else would,
Sure.
and you just think that there's no way he could have thought that black guy, who I'm sure had no criminal convictions,
Never.
would fucking react that way, and that's the bit of the film that makes me think like,
Oh,
Is it a
not-
work?
Not the part where he asked for a
No.
stunt double, and then they said that the stunt double got to fuck the leading actress on the movie. That part was realistic. Okay, got it.
You know, there's a speaking of Windy City Heat. There's a Dane Cook film, a really shit one called Good Luck Chuck.
Oh.
It's really. I'd rather watch the tape that fucking Matthew McConaughey watched at the end of True Detective than to see Good Luck Chuck again. And in it, there's a scene where there's a montage of him fucking a bunch of random women, and there's rumors that some of those women were like strippers or porn stars, and he was actually fucking them. But then some of them were overage, so I'm sure he wouldn't be interested in that.
It's a long ways to go, but you got there.
Yeah, I know.
Good job,
He
you
went
just-
around the
Let's
corner,
go.
down the block, fucking everything. Let's get these things out of the
Why are we
way.
talking about Dane Cook? Where you go with this? All right, got it.
Exactly. Dave Davila, $2. Bob, let Stacey Allen in. I don't know why she's not in, and I have no idea. But I don't even know. There was mods here. I don't know if somebody made people mods, but we'll work on it and get that done. Alkaline, whatever, $5. Love you, animals. Thank you. Dave Davila, $2. Supporting Born Wrong Ministries. Yes, I'll be starting that very soon. So all you people that are a little out of it, we'll fix you. Haku Brennan, $5. Bob, besides Bob, my hubby is in Magnet. 4 of the most untalented boys in podcasting. Look at who he has as co-hosts. And just regulars now. Joe Matarese is podcast Ambien. Not ambient. No, it is ambient. Fuck, God damn it. Dave Davila, please tell Perry Lee to stop call and collect. All right, I'll try it. Grizzly Adams, $4.99. Why hasn't Piazza sued Brennan or Dykstra if he's not home? No, we're not talking about him. Somebody else. I guess that was a little closer to people, but what are you going to do? That's just the way it is, you know? I'm not the one that said it. Kevin did. Got him real mad, and that shit happened. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Who are these lesbians? Fuck off, motherfucker. It's Carl. Are you looking for, like, you're doing the live shows again? Like, you love the live shows, don't you? Isn't it
Yes.
fun to get out there and see what, you know, because you don't know what, you know, you see people in the chat and that, but when you're out live, it's such a bigger thing.
Yeah, we're going to be in Largo, Florida, which is near Tampa and Clearwater on March 22nd, WATPlive.com for tickets. And teaming up with the boys from Revenge of the Sis. So we got the whole
Nice.
WATP crew. We got Royce and Mersch coming down. And yeah, I'll tell you what, Bob, I was reluctant to do live shows. I didn't think I ever would. In fact, I didn't even think I'd go to video at any point. Look at me. I'm like, I just want to be a podcaster in my basement.
No,
and
I
one,
know.
you know, people could just hear me. But when I went to Dick Masterson did a live show in the end of 2020 in Tampa. And at the same time, everything was shutting down again in New York State. And I got to go down to Florida where it's a free country. And you can do whatever the fuck you want and live your life normally. And all these people traveled in from all over the country to be there.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, this is fucking awesome. This is an
totally.
area, an opportunity for the listeners and the viewers to all come together. They know each other from the Discord and from YouTube and all these places, and then they all get to hang out, get together, and do shit. We get to hang out with them, and I always make it a point when we do the live shows to go out at least a couple of nights and meet up with everyone.
Oh, that's cool. So you're going down early to...
Yeah, we're going. I'm going to be down there Wednesday. We're flying back Sunday, so the show's Friday night, but I'll be down there the whole weekend.
Nice. That's
It'd be-
fucking cool.
It'd be good, especially with the amount of admitted cokeheads that we have in the Dabbleverse now. Like, I seen this footage of this cokehead at
Husey, are you jealous now? You used to be the main cokehead of the Dabbleverse, and now Kate
he's
Meany's
he
exposed
is.
everyone. And you're like, what the fuck? I'm the cokehead of this world. What's going on?
Listen, when she's letting people blow coke through a straw in their anus, she deserves that crown.
All right, fair enough.
But
you're the bigger man on this one.
I seen this footage of Atlantic City. There was some guy, I think it was coke, likely crack, old gay-looking guy with this hot MILF lady. He had grey hair, and he was attacking this guy disguised as a grape while standing beside a slobbery old bad dad with gross freak kids. It was weird. So I think you'll have a good time in Vegas. Skull.
Yeah, Vegas is going to be good. You got Florida and that stuff. We were looking at houses in Florida, and we put in like 450,000,
Yeah.
and Cape Coral kept coming up with these fucking mansions.
Yeah.
Like like really nice houses. Like is there something wrong there? No, no, really.
It's funny you
because-
ask that.
No, really. We need to know.
It's funny you asked that because obviously I bought a house in Cape Coral recently, and we love it there. It's so fantastic. We have the canal going through our backyard. We saw gators going through, otters.
fuck
It's
that.
it's a blast. We have the pool, the heated
Right.
pool there. So I think the thing with Cape Coral is it was about a year and a half ago, end of September of 2023. This hurricane came in, and something that had never happened before. The way that the air pressure worked, this hurricane just stopped on top of Fort Myers and Cape Coral for 8 hours straight and wreaked havoc. And I was like, now's the time to buy, because they're definitely like trying to slowly but surely rebuild. So it's on the upswing again. But I think that freaked a lot of people out when that storm hit.
And there's no problems underground or anything there.
No, we had
Sinkhole.
an issue with our water. We're on well water, and so we had an issue. We had to get a reverse osmosis system put in, and now the water's perfect in every single way. But yeah, there's a few things. If you guys are looking down there, we should talk offline because
Okay.
I can
Yeah.
tell you my experience and what to look for.
Yeah.
No,
and
no,
then-
do it now. How much money do you have in your bank, Carl?
It's funny that you asked me that. There's people who legitimately want to know the answer to that. Kevin Brennan literally said he wanted to compare bank statements with me, which is the weirdest thing a person would do.
You know, it's so funny. It's that when you think about his career, he went from doing stand-up comedy to writing, to actually being on Saturday Night Live, to writing with Norm Macdonald, which sounds like the dream goal, to fucking going on tour with Louis C.K., whatever you think of him, to now he's arguing because Stevie Louie wants to make an appearance on Stuttering John's podcast for 10 minutes. It's all on the way up. Like he's the king of this.
It's killing it,
Yeah,
for sure.
There's
yes.
no doubt. There's no doubt about that.
Well, that's why I'm fascinated by this Joe Matarese thing.
Yeah.
Because Joe Matarese is the internet's punching bag. And,
And
so
he's a
far,
good guy.
Kevin's-
I've known Joe
I
a
know you
long
do. I
time.
know. And so
And
far,
he's
Kevin's
funny.
treating him like an equal. He's bringing him on as if this guy is going to bring something to the show. And his podcasts have all been terrible. He has no idea what he's doing.
But
Yeah,
I think
he's-
he's on that medicine, like, you know what I mean? A lot of medicine, too. You know?
Okay. Heroin?
Like Ray. No. Just regular medicine and that shit.
Like anxiety
You complain to a
and shit like
doctor
that?
about something, they're going to give you something.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to leave with something. A paper in your hand to go get your fucking medicine. It's just how it is to get you out.
I bet you he was fun during the pandemic. You gotta clean down the handles on the door. We're all gonna die of cancer.
I loved it. It was great to just stay home and fucking not like I love being at home. So I'm like, this is fucking great.
I got to tell you, it completely changed my life for the better.
Mm-hmm.
I never would have become a full-time podcaster if not for the pandemic, because I was a partner at a company and I was working on that, and this was just a hobby I had. But the
Yeah.
pandemic and then being forced to sit at home all day, every day, just went, okay, yeah, I can turn this into something. This actually works out pretty
Yeah,
well.
it's fun. I mean, it helped a lot of people, to do this. It turned into something else. But, thank God we got rid of Zoom because Zoom fucking sucked. Let's get this out of the way. Schigler, 999. Does the chick at the bottom have a boyfriend? I'm interested. Well, you never know. Just keep going. Dave Davila, $2. Bob, thanks for the that's a fucking tough word, dick pics.
Unsolicited dick
Okay,
pics.
well, I didn't send them, okay? They just send your email.
Funny you knew how
John's-
to read the word dick.
Oh, shut the fuck up. It's easy, motherfucker. John's Earmites, $5. Bob and Perry in an RV for 90 days traveling the U.S. is my dream show. Make my dream come true, Bob. Number one horn. Thank you. Do. I'll give you one, even though it wasn't a gifted one. That would be fucking fun to do that with Perry.
Yeah, if you guys just did like an IRL thing. and
Yeah.
just kept the cameras running. Yeah, I think people would be into
Yeah.
that.
Haku Brennan, $2. Carl Ugly. I'm Kevin's wife, by the way. Oh, stop it. Come on, you're not.
Yeah, you don't know. It might be.
My wife gifted 5 Levyverse membership. Do. Thank you, honey. Now get back to work.
Thanks, Jeaner.
It's coming out of your fucking money, honey.
Here, Carl, would you?
I don't know. I got to ask Bob about her body first.
Yeah. Bob, do you mind if I jerk off?
It's amazing that a grown man talks about like masturbating to other people that they know, right? Like that's something.
Yes.
If you do it, when Carl's done, I'll do it to him later. But I'm not going to tell him I'm going to do it.
Don't talk about it on the show. That would
Yeah.
be embarrassing for everyone.
Nice
Yeah.
glass of wine, play Hungry Like the Wolf, maybe the Crockett theme from Miami Vice, and just start whacking that pud into next week. That's the Dabbleverse way. But have you noticed, though, that in the Dabbleverse, there's, I would say 98% of the ladies are actually quite good looking. As
Well, you're breaking up there at the end. I missed it.
That's just the way my throat's going.
It's
I have,
craving cock.
I have cancer. But but have you noticed? I'm dying. But have you noticed that a lot of the women in the Dabbleverse actually are pretty good looking?
For sure. Yeah, I've definitely noticed that. In fact, Bob talking about the live shows. I couldn't believe the first time we did a live show in Chicago, women actually showed up to it. I was like, I thought this was just going to be all guys who are single and desperate, but there's actually married couples and women flying in from California who are fans of the show. And a lot of hot broads.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
off, Jake.
Well, come on. Jake's a good guy.
I didn't mean it.
Okay, just calm the fuck down, all right? Are you looking forward to the Vegas show? That would be cool because people will go to Vegas. Like, they'll go to Florida, they'll go to Vegas, they'll go to California. I can't believe we had people come to Rochester, truthfully. Like,
Yeah, I know. That was
I was
awesome.
shocked how many people were there.
It's crazy. It was 0 degrees here. It was the beginning of February in Rochester. It's not an easy place to get to, not a fun place to be at that time of year. And that was a blast because that was a whole weekend. And Vegas is going to be the same way. So Hackamania.com, May 31st through June 2nd. Melton's putting this all together. He's got a whole stand-up show going Friday night. And then after that, we're going to do like a Kill Tony style open
nice.
mic session. People come
Nice.
up, do their 60 seconds. We'll have a panel, talking to them, judging them. Saturday, we're doing podcasts all day long. He's got a whole schedule up on Hackamania.com. And then on Sunday, I think we're just going to like go play poker or something that we can do as a group in Vegas. So, yeah, I'm looking forward. That's going to be just like DabbleCon, a whole weekend of events.
No, is that a casino or just a club?
It's actually on Fremont Street. There's
Okay.
this like Dave and Buster's kind of place. I think it's called Nerds or something like that. So it's just like a couple of floors of video games and pinball and all sorts of shit. And they have like a theater or like a little room somewhere that holds a couple hundred people, and we're going to do the live shows there.
I think you're going to get a lot more than a couple hundred people.
Yeah, I think so too.
From
what I've heard, I don't know any of the numbers yet, but Patrick was telling me that they're selling.
No, it's definitely going to sell. There's no doubt about it, especially Vegas, I mean, it's not far from California, Vegas.
Yeah, it's an easy
LA
drive.
and
It's an
stuff.
easy drive from LA or San Fran or something like that. But it's also just a fun place to be, and that's a fun weekend to have. Regardless, we're going to have a good time.
And with all the drugs out there, you could get a bunch of pills and hire a bus to take everyone to go to the Sphere or whatever the fuck it's called and go see, what are they called, Fish or Pish or whatever?
Yeah, I don't think Fish is going to be there anymore by the time that we're out there. But I actually was hanging out with Monique from Radio Gunk not too long ago, and she saw the U2 concert in the Sphere.
Oh, wow.
She had just gotten back from that, and I don't know if you guys have seen any of the videos of it. It looks fucking crazy.
Yeah.
How big is that place? How big is
It
that?
holds like 12,000 people, I want to say.
Okay.
It's big.
But it's
And I'm not a
probably
U2
perfect
fan,
setup.
but I would definitely go. I'd pay a lot of money to see that show in the Sphere. That would.
I fucking love you too. I'm
of
one
course
of
you do.
Yeah.
Springsteen fan and U2.
Yeah.
The worst taste in music.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
Oh, I never heard of
Metallica.
what's the name of that band? That's obscure one.
Wait, what
Bob,
is it?
can you pronounce this band?
Metallica.
Yeah, Metallica.
Dude, do you buy the same shirts as Beavis and Butthead on purpose? I always see you like an AC/DC or Metallica shirt.
It's just because I got these lats, I can only buy merchandise instead of, what do you call them? A fag clothes or something like that? I mean,
You shop at Hot Topic and I'm the gay guy. Okay. Fair enough.
What time is it there now?
in Ireland, it's
No, in Rochester. you
36.
fuck.
Beer 30, I think.
It's 36 past 6 p.m. By the way,
Good for you, Ugly.
But,
I think Ugly's the guy that goes out by himself. I just, you know what I mean? He's always like he goes to concerts by himself. Like that's weird to me.
Well, he doesn't have friends, yeah.
yeah. So,
how
well,
that
I've only done that once, but I'll do it again because Weezer and the Smashing Pumpkins are playing the 3 Arena in Dublin, and I'm not missing that. So I'm going to get the train down, go to the show, tell the hilarious squeegee jokes at the bar afterwards, and bring one of those whoas back to my room to sniff stuff off a big fat ass. Killers of Comedy style.
Yeah. Those
Bob,
were
do you
the
think that
days.
Hughesy's completely full of shit when he talks about his life? Do you think he's actually just a shut-in who doesn't do anything? And
Yeah, I
pretends
don't
that
think
goes
he
to
leaves.
concerts
You
and
know,
stuff? Yeah.
I don't even think he looks at those curtains. I just, he's afraid
You're right.
of
He's
everything
afraid of the
outside.
outside world.
It is dark out there.
He has beer
Did you
delivered.
see how he had to prove that he will look outside? I think we're onto something, Bob.
There's
I
something
didn't even
weird
fully
going on.
look. I just kind of shot at it. But I gotta ask you, Carl, with covering the SJ stuff lately, does it ever gross you out? Because like everybody knows Little Lemmy from the BYB show, and when Stuttering John went on that show, it was literally, I think, 45 seconds or less. He'd met her from the first time ever, didn't know she existed. Within 45 seconds, he was asking her if she takes it in the arse.
Yeah.
And when you're covering that stuff, does it ever kind of like gross you out where you think this is starting to become less fun and more just uncomfortable? Or do you think, fuck 'em, all women are hers?
Well, a couple thoughts on that. First off, Stuttering John is still trying to be Howard Stern in 1994. That's why he does that kind of stuff. That's why he asks women that. Problem is he doesn't have the charm or the platform. Or it's not even the same time. It's not as shocking as it used to be. It's not a big deal. But when Howard used to ask women about their sex lives in the 90s, no one else was really doing that, and it was interesting, and Howard asked in a way that people wanted to tell them what was going on. John does it in this creepy, weird way that even if Lemmy was an anal princess and there was thousands of videos of her taking it in the ass online, she'd be like, I don't want to answer that question.
But I think the way he usually says it, you take it in the arse. I mean, it sounds more fun than,
Yeah, that does sound fun, yeah.
getting pounded in the ass, But,
point.
that's... Dave Davila, $2. Carl, that's Stuttering John post is worth a fortune. Well, I don't know about that.
It might be, man. This background shows up on more shows than any other background, I think.
It does. It really does.
crazy.
Dave Davila, $2. Carl, how much is Bob charging you? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Be nice to my guest. Mason in Portland with his Kay Leno picture. $2. Hughley, will Cody dethrone Roman at WrestleMania?
Answer the fucking question, Husey.
Yes,
I hope not.
I think so. I think it's his time.
No,
He didn't win last year.
I hope it doesn't, because those Cody Rhodes fans are mentally ill. So if he loses, they'll hopefully kill themselves in Minecraft.
So just getting back to the question about John and how fun it is, I do have to say that there's a portion of John's show, it's becoming a larger and larger portion, that I'm bored of and I don't care about anymore. And that's performative John, who's acting all worked up and he's putting on a show and he's like, yeah, this is me being charismatic and interesting. It's like, no, you're none of those things. You just suck. I like it when we get a glimpse, and I got to give credit to Vince on his show on Sunday, asking him real questions about his real life and getting John to actually answer them. I like to hear about what's really going on in John's life. That part I find fascinating.
Yeah, I like when he goes. He goes, you got it, and he goes up to the camera. When he gets mad, I'm like, this is so fake, but it's
so
like,
fake.
And the thing that's so dumb about that is that Stuttering John, when he's on a chat like this, can't stop looking at himself. So he starts. He'll start going like that, and be like, "What do you think, Carl? Do you think I can't do this stuff?"
Right. Well, you know he practices in the mirror too. Let's not forget before the Atlantic City trip, John was on every show going, you know, and I'm going to see Patrick Melton. I'm going to say, hey, apologize. And then we're going to shake hands. And then I'm going to run into Stevie Lou. And I'm going to say, hey, let's get a beer, Stevie Lou. And then, so he's like in the mirror practicing how he's going to interact with people.
For the whole weekend, he planned.
Yeah, he
in
had it all
his head.
planned out. So
In his
you
head.
know that when he's on his show, he's definitely watching himself to make sure he's getting all the facial expressions right. And he's doing all this stupid shit. And he just looks like an asshole.
And you know what he reminds me of? Have you seen oh fuck, I can't remember his name now. He's the guy from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Okay.
And he's like the people that gets the ones the concerts, and he got the
Oh,
girl
the
pregnant.
ticket guy. Damone, was that?
Yeah,
Damone.
that's what I see Stuttering John is. I think he was that guy at high school, and he's still that exact same guy. Oh, you want me to get your tickets for a foreigner? I know
yeah,
this
and-
guy from Rochester. He's in the Duran tribute act.
Well, I think you're right because Damone was actually a loser and he had to hang out with like a younger kid who was a dork in order to show that he was cool. And I think that that's the same thing with Stuttering John, is he surrounds himself with Hitman Dan and Don, and so that he could be like, look, I'm the big celebrity around here, right, guys? Worship me.
Yeah, and he gets people Jay Leno tickets. He gets some the late night shows, you know. But
Right.
people must be like, really, John, again?
Yeah, and I'm not making accusations, but there's that live stream he did while in Atlantic City with the great Ray DeVito, who shockingly was available that night. And John's face is really badly bright red, and he's and you can hear him breathing through the mouth because it's almost as if something was stopping the circulation while his nose was, I don't know, a little clogged up. Just maybe it was the aircon in the room, despite the reflections of the people in the mirror who were visibly leaning down to read the menu of the food, you know.
Don't lose your train of thought. The craziest thing is that whatever John was putting in his nose in Atlantic City is way better for him than the air he's breathing in his Canoga Park apartment.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, he gets winded getting out of the elevator. Really, you know, that's it's like he gets winded getting up, and it's like he's threatening everybody. And it's like, come on, just stop.
But he is breathing in black mold and cat hair and litter and everything else in that house. I can't even imagine. I'm sure that none of us would be able to breathe if we lived in that shithole. But where were you going with that, Izzy? What do you want to ask me?
No, it's just basically what I don't get is that how can he keep that going? Like at his age, to still be hitting it that hard. Like at some point, it's got to start hurting more than it's got to start being fun. Like, was he going to fight Patrick Melton?
He almost beat him up. Yeah, I mean, you've
Well,
heard
yeah.
his revisionist history. He almost kicked him and Rocco's asses. I don't know.
and
if you knew
mine too. I didn't even know.
that. He's insane. Husey, in order to be a crippling alcoholic when you're reaching your 60s, you have to be in denial about everything going on in your life. And that's what we're
Yes. seeing
seeing with John, where he thinks he's at the center of the Dabbleverse because he's so entertaining and he's just the biggest celebrity. And everyone watches him because his resume is so great. So he has to be in denial about everything, or else he would definitely probably want to go to Greenland, as my buddy Dick Masterson would say.
Yeah.
Hey,
Do you think
did-
he'll ever want to do another show with you? You're like, you can't say no because you know how he.
I was thinking about that recently, Bob. So much has
Yeah.
changed since the last two times John and I got to debate each other that I think that would be fun. I would enjoy that. I'd like to talk to him
Yeah.
again. Yeah, I would do that.
The thing about that is you would need to do that on your channel with the you moderating or
So I can mute him like I did the first time.
Yeah, because he's really devolving. Like the fact that like that whole thing again with Stevie Lou was almost like an AI version of somebody making fun of Stuttering John. That's how badly he came across. Where like to get that, and not only that, Stuttering John was so angry. He goes to Stevie Lou. He says, I was only making jokes about your divorce, but now I'm going to find out what your fiance looks like. It's like, how did you get that wrong in 2 sentences? They're getting divorced and now they're fucking getting married
Fiancé.
again. You dumb
It's
cunt with a
amazing.
couple of ugly kids.
Well, who the fuck, Bob, maybe you would have an answer for this because you've been on the road with John. You guys were friends for some time. Who the fuck would ever devolve any information to John when he's being friendly with you, knowing that he's going to turn on you and weaponize that information immediately? Asking for
especially
photos of your
it-
wife and shit. It's so creepy.
Yeah, especially if you just go with an opposite thing that he's thinking. You know.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah, it doesn't take
you're
much.
Dissing him, it's like you got to let shit go sometimes. I mean, I'm still learning to. You know, I don't give a fuck anymore. You know what I mean? Just have fucking fun, and it doesn't matter. You know, but he just turns real quick, and then all of a sudden you're best friends again if you say you're sorry, which is another weird thing.
I've
You know?
never heard of such a thing where I could go on and let's say hypothetically, Patrick Melton can say the worst things about John's parenting ability, about how his children turned out, about mental illness, all these things. And then all it takes is say you're sorry. All right, I'm sorry, John. Okay, cool. Let's grab a beer. Like,
Yeah, and then
what does
how
that?
long
What did
does
that do? What do you
How
mean?
long does that last? It doesn't last long. It's just the
So
way it is,
stupid.
and it's always going to be like that. Joe Corson, right? For when I call, if Bob and usually aren't aware of it, tell them about the only funny thing Manneries did, having Cumia
Mm-hmm.
Lang and Norton Rip. Well, that was pretty amazing, but Joe is really funny. Joe is a great comedian.
Do you know
and
that
he's
episode though of Fixing Joe? that
Yes,
he's referring to.
it's pretty amazing. And
I thought
it's
it was
in New
the-
York City.
Yeah, I thought that was the only episode of Fiction Joke. It's the only
Yeah,
one that
so.
people know about.
It might have been the last one, but you know, but it
Yeah, but
was
if-
amazing.
Yeah, but listen, if you ever want life advice,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta ask Artie Lang in the depths of drug addiction, or Jim Norton while he's battling sex addiction, or Anthony Cumia who's consistently drunk. That's who you go to for a round table for serious conversation on better health.
Well, especially about your marriage, because if anyone knows anything about marriage, it's Jim Norton, Anthony Cumia, and Artie Lang.
Yeah, you're fighting with your wife, just suck her dick and everything will be okay. That's,
Just give her own reality show and tell her to shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when Artie was getting engaged, he bought her a rock but never put it on a ring, and he would just carry it
Is
around.
that true?
Yeah, he had it like in a napkin or something. It's just fucking crazy.
did you hear Jim Norton and his wife, that lovely lady, on the Adam Carolla show together?
I did
No.
not. No.
Shockingly, she's not as funny as Jim, but oh boy, does she talk more. She.
Well,
Yeah.
she's funny. I mean, I think it's a great show. Me and the wife love it, you know, and I'm glad to see Jim happy. You know, I mean, that's all that matters. You know, well, who gives a fuck?
Well, they're starting a podcast now. Have you seen their podcast yet?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We watch that shit. You know, it's fun. Dave
Can we-
Dapple at $2. Daddy's the new remote tastes great. Perry Levy. He's probably fucking eating it right now. No, I'm locked him out. Dave Dapple at $2. Belong Wrong Ministry draws a line at Stutter and John. Yeah, he can't come in. Dave Dapple at $2. Can't we just get Stutter and John a participation trophy? Maybe. Oh, here we go. Chris Abels, $4.99. Carl, the real question is, when do you want to do replayables?
I gotta say that the shit that you guys watch on that show is disturbing to me.
Really?
I'm happy to hang out and drink with those guys, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't need to see someone get decapitated 17 times in a row in slow motion.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe the replayables of the replayable is a little too much sometimes, but yeah, I mean, certain ones you just do two and that's it.
But yeah, Chris, reach out, buddy. I'd be happy to come on with you guys.
Yeah. See, Carl's easy going, you know?
course.
Carl's like one of the easiest going people in this fucking thing.
Well, Bob, you and I have talked about this.
Hungry like the wolf.
We can't believe how fun this is. That this is what life is now. I mean, Bob, for all that time on the Howard Stern show and all the work it takes and the scheduling and everything, and now we just get to hang out in our house and turn on the camera and do shows. It's a blast.
And that's what it is. Like people say, I do so many shows. It's like, well, it doesn't take a lot. It's good for your mind. It's good for every, you know what I mean? Because you're just working on being faster and coming up with shit real quick, and it just helps. People don't get that it's not, it's not really work.
No,
Even
it's
though
definitely
it's
not.
great.
No.
Yeah.
No, even yesterday, I'm prepping for Who Are These Podcasts? We do it every Wednesday and Saturday. And I put in anywhere between 6 and 8 hours of prep time for an episode of Who Are These Podcasts. but it's a blast. It's what I enjoy doing. I love watching or listening to shitty podcasts, pulling clips, figuring out how I'm going to present it. That's the fun part of all of this.
You know, doing that much work, it's a shame you don't have somebody to ask you to take a nap.
Oh, dude. Don't even
Yeah.
go there, Husey. You know my list of demands. You can't bring up mandolins or naps, or I'm out of here.
No, but
You
that,
know
that was such a roasting you got. I mean,
I
imagine,
know, and I'm still trying to recover from it. People
Yeah.
still comment about napping.
But
at me.
everybody
It's-
naps. It's like you're full of shit. If you're doing this, you're gonna, you know what I mean. Once in a while, I used to do it more often, but like once in a while, I'll take a nap for a fucking hour or two because you know you have to.
Well, I'm not even a napper. I don't nap, which is fine. But the way that video, that 7-second video that Vince put together, the way that turned into my mom came in and told me I had to take a nap, which was not even close to what happened in that video. But okay, sure, why not?
Yeah, and also it's like yeah. What a roasting for Carl. His wife wanted him to take a break. He's like it's just like
Got
oh
me
god,
good.
yeah, hard ice. Keep the show going.
The crazy part about that video is that I was watching Cuties 3 times in a row. Now, if you want to make fun of me,
Again?
make fun of the fact that I watched Cuties 3 times in a row. It was a creep off thing that I had to do. One of the consequences after spinning the wheel of consequences. And so I had to live stream myself watching that horrible movie. And the thing that people make fun of me for is my wife asked me if I had taken a nap earlier that day. Okay.
It's amazing.
Well,
It's
all
amazing.
that jerking off probably would make you kind of fatigued at the end of it, you know. Bob, you know what Cuties is, don't you?
No, it just doesn't sound right to me.
It's a French movie. It was on Netflix. There was a lot of protests about it because it's about these 11 and 12-year-old girls who get extremely sexualized. And it's a lot of people think that it's a movie for pedophiles. It's
Well.
actually happened to be written and directed by a woman who was in the world of not pageants, but like dance troupes and stuff when you're preteens. And these
Okay.
dance troupes, the outfits they wear and everything about it's very sexualized, the dance moves they learn. And so she made this movie to kind of shine a spotlight on it. But then everyone just went, oh, this is for pedophiles because there's young girls and skimpy outfits in it. So, well, okay, you missed the point, but it's still not a good movie.
Yeah, but you watched
Yeah.
it 4 times, so I guess
watched
it's
it
working out for you.
Bob, I
know?
watched it 3 times, and I learned immediately afterwards that you can watch movies in a sped up speed on Netflix. I did not fucking know that. I would have watched it at 3x and got it done in half the time.
Yeah,
Don't
you
do
just
the
wanted
math
to
on that.
quicker.
You just wanted to fast forward to the dance sequences anyway.
There were some pretty good dance sequences. I'll give you that.
John Altweez, 199. Danny Bonanjuzi was a major badass. Agree? Love you. Yes. Insane. When you're pumped up with all that shit and drinking and fucking doing whatever you want, yeah, he was a fucking animal.
Also,
I
a
feel
top
bad the way
20
he
bass
looked.
player. We could all agree on that, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, come on, man.
Great reality show too, not even slightly staged.
No, everything's staged, goddammit. Everything you watch
No.
on TV, which is ridiculous now, you know? Like, that's why I watch Little People, Big World, because, you know, it's real. You know, you got fucking people that are tiny that have to build stuff with, like, lobster hands.
Dude, you know what I was watching the other day? Have you guys seen I don't know what they call it, micro wrestling?
I heard about this.
Yeah.
Big
where they-
Little Brawlers.
Is that what it's called? It might be. So these little people do pro wrestling, and they follow. It's a reality show where they follow these people around, and it's hilarious because to the little people, it's the biggest thing in the world to them.
Yeah.
They want to get their moves down. They're all excited to be in the ring, and then they finally show the event. And there's like 36 people in this gymnasium who go to these events who are just
Well,
kind
it'll
of
get bigger soon, but like
I
the
hope
good
so.
thing about that wrestling, nobody gets thrown off over the top rope.
no, definitely not.
And they only need one fucking rope. They don't even need the other two. But shit like that's what entertainment is today. You know what I mean? It's like, when was the last time you watched regular TV, a comedy or
A sitcom or something.
Anything
It's
like
been
that.
decades. Yeah.
I watched Cuties.
Me too. We should talk about it.
Yeah. What'd you think of the hot black chick?
there's nothing on TV. If it wasn't for sports, you know what I mean? Why would you have TV? You know?
Right.
There's nothing to watch.
Well,
Never.
I am watching the new season of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Okay.
I'll
that's
still watch
different.
Larry, but yeah.
You know what the thing about Curb Your Enthusiasm? Call the episode Curb Your Enthusiasm. Okay, is that how funny that show is, despite how badly made it is. Like Larry David is making the stuff up on the spot, but he's a horrific actor.
Yes.
Like the show is hilarious, but like he is one of the all-time worst actors there will ever. Even when he has to walk down a street, he walks badly like this because he's like trying to act serious. But I love
Jerry
Bob,
Seinfeld's not a great actor either. I don't think it matters. In that what I think is hilarious about Curb, because I forget from season to season who's playing themselves and who's playing characters. He's like Ted Danson is Ted Danson, but then Vince Vaughn is there, but he's not Vince Vaughn. He's this other guy. There's like that's true of almost everyone in that show. They're either playing themselves or they're not, and it's hard to keep track.
Well, speaking of Jerry Seinfeld, his next thing that's coming out this year, he's written and directed and starring in a film for Netflix about the creation of the Pop-Tart. And shockingly, Amy Schumer's in it. Now, I wonder what her payment was with that face of hers.
You don't like her, do you?
I don't like her or Ray DeVito.
Are you being serious about this Pop-Tart thing, or are you just making this up?
It's got to be a joke.
No, it's coming, yeah. It's coming to Netflix this year, along with Beverly Hills Cop 4. Woo.
I did hear about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I heard in this one, Axel gets into wacky situations that he has to talk himself out of. Sold. I'm glad they're raising that subscription fee. That's what Netflix is there for.
I love Netflix. When I first found it, I watched that thing about the guy that they said murdered a girl or whatever, and he went to jail. Or, he raped a girl, and he went to jail. It was in Milwaukee. And then somebody said, no, he got out because they said he didn't do it, and there was no evidence or anything. And then he ends up killing a girl, and then he goes back to jail again. It was like fucking 20 hours at least of this shit. What was that called? Do you remember
Was that what season of Curb was this?
I think it was the second season.
Who improvised that?
Was it Making a Murderer?
Making a Murderer. It was
Yeah.
that was the first thing I ever seen on there, and I was like, "This is fucking insane." You know,
His-
it's like,
His parents were so fucking dumb
Oh,
that I
yeah.
would rather be in prison for rape than to be around his dumb fucking mum. Do you
Well,
remember Carl the bit when his dad had left his ID and wallet in the house as they're driving, and they're like an hour away, and he goes, "Well, maybe they'll let me in anyway." And of course, shockingly, the prison won't let you in the
Yeah.
prison without ID. He goes, "I can't believe they wouldn't let me in," with his dumb inbred mum.
they wouldn't let me see my boy.
Yeah,
Fucking
fuck.
messes.
You
the
understood
whole
what Husey
family.
just said, Bob? I'm sitting
Yeah.
here going, this guy just switched languages on me. I have no idea what he's talking about. Bob can't read a word, but he can understand that. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
That's why we're good together.
You guys are good together. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, Making a Murderer was too long. Netflix
Yeah.
is fucking everything on there of interest is a documentary about how a woman was raped and murdered. Like that's what Netflix is
Like the
about.
Tinder Swindler. Did you watch that one?
Was that the one about the foreign gentleman? Shall we
Yes.
say? Yeah. See, when you get swindled by a guy that looks like that, you deserve it.
Well, no
You're
shit.
a dumb bitch.
No shit. When your boyfriend says, "All right, I'm gonna make your life great. You just gotta send me $40,000, and then tomorrow I'm gonna need another $80,000."
Oh, that's that new one that's out, right? From the Philippines or something? There's something out that's supposed to... We put it on for a second. Oh, from India. We put it on for a second last night, and it's just fucking horrible.
Oh, I
It's,
don't know about that. No, this is something different. It came out
it's
a year or
supposed
two
to get
ago.
5 stars or something like that, but it's bullshit. Dave Davila, if Southern John goes missing, do we put him on a carton of half and half? Maybe. Dave Davila, John plus Kate plus Hate. You ever watch that show?
Johnny K
No.
plus 8? No, I've
Oh
never
my
watched
God, that poor fucking guy. I mean, thank God he got out of that. He was beaten down.
Wasn't that the
is-
show where the guy turned out to be a pedophile or something?
Yay!
Could have been,
I'm
yeah.
thinking of something
That's
else.
most of the shows end that way. That's like
No,
the final
that's this
season.
episode. You know.
Yeah, welcome, Carl.
The finale, yeah.
Take a seat, Carl. Dildog gifted 10 Levyverse membership. Do. Thank you. Yeah, there's so much shit on TV. It's just like fucking, and they keep adding these extra channels to everything. You know what I mean? Like TLC has a thing you pay again to go on and watch these stupid shows. You know, and the only one that's good out there is the one with the people that find somebody in prison to marry, and it's just brutal because women are stupid. I
I
mean,
thought you were going to say 1,000-Pound Sisters was the only one.
oh no, that's
worth
the only one I
watching.
jerk off to. What are you kidding? I put
you ever
fucking
watch,
butter on my hand.
Did you ever watch BET?
All day, every day, because I'm not a
Yeah.
racist. That's
You
all I
get to-
watch.
Good to work in the PR department for BET, but I think they call it the NPR.
I see what you did there.
See, you
You got there a lot quicker that time, though. That was good.
Yeah, that's because I only brought 2 beers. I forgot to bring a third and a 7th.
Okay,
Levy?
You're a mess. You're
Yeah.
a mess. I haven't drank today, but I don't know. Sometimes in the afternoon I want to have a drink, you know, and just watch John. It's like there's nothing
Yeah.
like it's like watching a monkey.
Yes.
Are we talking about the NPR again?
No.
I have to tell you, Bob, I think you guys pointed this out in Uncle Rico when John switched his schedule back to mornings. Just not the same. He doesn't have the energy. He doesn't bring it. I want to watch John getting progressively drunker on the show. I don't want to see drinking Mountain Dew, taking Klonopin, John. That's not as fun.
Yeah. No. Yeah. The afternoon, whatever, nighttime. It was it 7:00. Like
Well,
7:00 when he goes on his
7
time.
o'clock our time. It's 4
Oh, yeah,
o'clock
our
his
time,
time.
our time,
That's
yeah.
what's crazy about it. It's only 4 in the afternoon, and he seems wasted.
But would you prefer to watch Beer on the Balcony or his new show? He seems to be working on cocaine in the bathroom.
They're both good. I don't know. I get a kick watching. I do. I watch his show and I'm like, you know, to me I'm entertained. You know, because he gets so mad so quick at everybody. You
Well,
know?
it really is just like Perry Caravello live now because
Yeah.
it's just trying to get a reaction on it. Everyone who's watching him is either waiting for him to react to something or they're actively trying to get him to react to something. So they're either super chatting him, super insulting things, or they're sending shit to his house, or they're starting rumors. It's a blast. That part of it is a blast. What John doesn't understand is that without all of these haters who are making him entertaining, like I think it might have been your guys' show yesterday I was watching, where he's trying to have a serious conversation with Stevie Lou, and then all of a sudden he just turns out and is like, "What? I'm not home."
Oh no,
It's
that
like,
was
that's fucking
hilarious.
great.
That was hilarious when that like, and then that he like with Perry, like he'll show what he got from the door. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
Whatever
We'll pull
it
it
came
out.
to
We'll
his
pull out
house.
each thing. He's like, "Oh, tampons." Okay, it's like this is the show. John, you can't do this by yourself. You need other people fucking with you to make you interesting. That's it.
But no, Carl, you're just being a hater. You didn't see the thing where he didn't know that he was on live streamed and he was having soup before he took a nap. It is so funny. He's like talking while eating the soup because that's what you do. Everybody talks after every spoonful because that's natural. Oh, Carl, it's
Well,
Stuttering John's time. You're done.
Husey, I know that you think that was a good bit, and you're right that it was a great bit. But the better bit, by far, is when John pretends he's shitting and then his hemorrhoids are bleeding.
Oh God.
And then he screams from the bathroom. Oh my gosh. And Husey, I know what's going to happen, but I still am rolling on the floor laughing. My wife's calling the ambulance. She doesn't know what's going on. I'm like, no. You don't understand. John's pretending he's pooping, but he's not.
Yeah. Did you ever see the fourth time he pretended to fall asleep on the air?
Oh,
Oh,
the
God.
fourth time was really good. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
He's getting better at it. Yeah.
Because he's all like, oh, I gotta go to bed right now, even though my computer's off. And it's like, this guy's the next Eddie Murphy.
I know. It was better than the third time because the third time started off with him going like this. Oh.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure. You gotta make sure he was online live with his eyes open first. Then he acted like he was sleeping.
And
That's
I
good.
loved how Pigpen has that blanket, that dirty blanket. It's just so filthy. It's like
disgusting.
it's like just bring it and wash it. Do something with it. Get a new one. You know, get a brown one.
Yeah, and have you noticed he's starting to wear a brown shirt?
Do you think it was
Like-
brown
like-
to begin with?
Like out of every color in the fucking world of shirts to buy, he goes with brown. He looks like fucking Jeff Goldblum should be standing beside him in Jurassic Park. But There's a super chat here from a guy called RP. It says, Carl, you've no talent. SJ makes you pathetic. It's like, yeah, that's the glory of it all. You don't need to be talented. It's just that Stuttering John's that much of a fucking loser that Carl's making 5 to 6 figures a month or whatever. Well, not 6. Yeah, it's like that's what makes it so fun. You don't need to be
Exactly.
talented. This is like the 80s of stand-up comedy.
You know what, Bob? I
That's-
thought
that's
he
the
was going to
thing.
have my back there, but that was the opposite of that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Well-
and also I like his Misfits collection.
Yeah, that's true.
I really thought he was going to spring to my defense there. It was just the opposite of that, motherfucker.
John will chug anything you put in front of him, pretty much. Like that's why with the whiskey last night, somebody sent him, and I was like, I was in the chat. I go, drink it, because I really thought he would start drinking the whiskey because he was on a roll. REP again, Carl, you better home Stuttering John sticks around no talent. You better home.
But even if Stuttering John dies, his funeral roast would be worth it.
Oh yeah, everybody will be there going live.
Yeah, get to interview Knight Melendez, ask her funny questions at the funeral. Say, excuse me, sir.
I get it. Pretty good.
Pretty good, not bad, not bad.
Give a queef on the corpse of your father.
No, hopefully he gets help. Hopefully he goes. You can see that drinking is not good at this point. It's okay to have a drink. Most people know how, but when you have to drink every day, something really bad is happening.
Yeah, and when you're having a beer with soup, maybe like as hilarious as that was, because he had no idea he was being streamed. It's fucking hell. I gotta rewatch that. So funny. But when you're having a beer with soup, you're fucked. Like, well, what does that tell you? Like, do you think you can even tell the difference?
You can tell the soup sucks if you're gonna have a beer with it. I mean, just pour it into the fucking soup, and you might as well.
That would be faster. You're right. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
and it's like, why do two things when you can just put them together and have one?
Right.
Fuck it.
It's like having your shampoo and conditioner in one bottle. It makes sense. So
It's the greatest
faster
thing
that
ever.
way.
You love talking about your hair, Carl,
Yeah.
don't you?
All right, I just wanted to bring it back to my hair again. What do you guys think? Huh?
That's what he does. All right, look, we got to get going because I have another show today, of course, at 4.
Hey, you guys missed Dill Dog, I think. I just want to make sure.
Where's Dill Dog?
We thank Dill Dog for gifting 10 Levyverse memberships. That's huge.
I didn't get that. Oh, do. Thank you, sir. Well, and then we got your fan here. Glad you admit it, loser.
All right, thanks.
But
RP.
it's not. Well, it's not. Well, what's Stuttering John's talent right now? That he watches Carl
listen,
roast him.
I don't think we need to debate who's more talented between me and Stuttering John. It's fine. I feel pretty confident in that one.
Yeah, and to be fair, you haven't exactly, fallen asleep live on the stream naturally. And until you do, Carl, you're never going to be as good as Jake Hudson's co-host.
I got to come up with I can't do John's bit, obviously. He already perfected it. So I got to find my own thing to do. Right? It's like I didn't know I was live. Maybe I'll have my wife ask me if I'd taken a nap that day and then be like, oh, shit, is this thing on? What's going on? I know you ask me this every day, but I didn't realize we were streaming just now.
I've got
like
the
it.
bit. You're
Okay.
counting your money that you've made from making fun of Stuttering John, and you don't know that you're being live streamed.
That's
And
not
you go,
bad.
there's another 10,000, and you're drinking soup, and you cut tits off and stuff, and it'll all come together.
It'll all work out.
Yeah,
in
let's
the
workshop
end.
that
Terry
one.
Nee, I thought Joe Exotic is in jail. That's Carl. Calm down. It's just a new look he's going at right now. Tell him about where you're playing again and your stuff.
Yeah,
Go.
so whoarethese.com is where you want to go to find all the stuff for Who Are These podcasts. But we're doing a live show down in Largo, Florida, which is the Tampa Clearwater area. That is
Nice.
March 22nd. It's going to be beautiful down there. So if you want to make the voyage, and CSWATPlive.com is where you go to get your tickets for that. And then, of course, Hackamania.com. We're going to be out in Vegas with Nobody Likes Onions, Ray DeVito, Pat Dixon, Tukey, whole bunch of people going to be out there performing for a whole weekend.
Ugly, where can they find you?
Hughes Entertainment. on
We're out of
YouTube.
time. Thanks. No. Go ahead.
You roasted me. And I got it. Huge Entertainment on YouTube. Don't be afraid to become a member. Recording soon an episode with old Kaylee from the Lucy Tightbox show, as Carl likes to call her. That one's going to be different because I'm going to be drinking on the air.
Oh, weird. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it'll be.
Tune in
And
for that.
I'll make
Mix it
jokes
up.
about race, homophobic comments. It's going to be a must-see episode that you've never seen me do before. But basically, just get in the comments on any videos. You can find years, pretty much, worth of interviews of me with lovely guys such as Carl and Bob Levy and many others, even Anthony Cumia,
Nice.
the Ant-Man.
Yes, and on the way out, Waver for 99 cents. Thank you, Waver. Thank you guys for coming by, and we'll see you next Thursday. Bye-bye, everybody. Cha-cha. Hoodoo.
Did we